Kulfi was such a good girl during her groom yesterday. She stood really, really well. You can see she's not really worried about me brushing her at all. This is my slicker brush, and I use it to kind of like rip apart the tangles and the mats that she has in her fur. I definitely recommend getting one of those for her. See, she's a little bit like unsure, but she doesn't really worry about it. And then this is me handling her feet. She was a little worried about the sound of the clippers, so I just showed her, see, they just make a loud noise. And I'm just rubbing the clippers on her back and her legs so she can see that they just sound like a buzz and they don't actually like hurt her. And she calmed down really quickly, like she really didn't realize it wasn't that bad. And so I'm giving her a little bit of a sanitary trim so she doesn't pee on herself underneath there. This is just an easy step to make sure that she stays a little bit cleaner in between grooms. And look at how brave she is. She's letting me touch like some like very sensitive parts of her for the sanitary trim, and like I really appreciate that. And right now she's letting me shave out right next to her ears. I like to get the hair away from the front of the ears so it doesn't get tangled in there. And that's very brave. The sound of the clippers is really loud, and she's allowing me to put it right next to her ears. She got a little bit nervous, but she realizes it's actually not that scary. And then this is the part that a lot of dogs get very nervous about, is the force drying. So I put my dryer on for her at first so she could see what the sound was like. And she didn't even mind. Look, she's just looking at it. And then I got my force dryer, which is a little bit stronger and a little bit louder. And I held it back so she could get used to the sound and the like power of the force dryer. And she got used to it real fast. Look, she just like puts her head down, she lays down, which is fine. You know, I want to, at some point, she does get used to standing while I'm using it with her. But she is really able to kind of overcome her own fear by herself and just kind of let what's happening happen, which is really, really impressive for a 4-month-old puppy who hasn't had a groom professionally before. And now I'm all done drying her, and I'm going to be working on her haircut, brushing her up a little bit more after I've dried her out. Some areas I noticed need a little bit of extra focus at home are the backs of her legs right there, around her butt and her tail, because she's such a wiggly little puppy. Her tail's always wagging and getting tangled. Her chest and her chin and her little feeties. Definitely work on brushing those out a little more at home. Anywhere, you know, on her joints where you can see like this area gets a lot of like her armpits and her knees, these areas move around a lot, so the hair is going to tangle there more easily. Those are the areas we want to be focusing on brushing at home. But she really stands so well for it. She's very, very brave. And I'm brushing her fur up so she fluffs out. I think she's noticed someone walking in and calling her very, very cute, because she is. She's a brave dog and a very good girl. I do think she's going to be a very good client. And so for her haircut today, what I did was I just kind of evened out her back a little bit because her body was longer than her legs. I rounded her feet and trimmed her face back. Just kind of like getting her used to being there for a haircut. When she's full grown, I think her haircuts are going to be closer to 2, maybe 2.5 hours, depending on how big she gets and, you know, how much coat you want to keep on her. But, you know, for a first haircut, she did very, very good. She was very brave. And it looks like you guys are doing, you know, a really good job at home keeping her coat tangle free. We set up an appointment for her already while you guys were here last time. I think we set it out for 5 weeks, and I really like that length for haircuts for her. Just so you're aware, we can, if you ever need it in the meantime, do just a nail trim, just a brush out, you know, just a bath and a fluff up if she doesn't need a full haircut. I definitely want to be, you know, a resource for you guys if you need help with anything, you know, coat-wise. And even if, you know, you guys are kind of falling behind on brushing her at some point and she needs a little bit of help from the groomer, I don't mind, you know, setting up an appointment and brushing her out for you so you can keep her coat nice and long and fluffy.